off the Hunter Biden trail, but it was specifically laid, I guess, at the feet of Merrick Garland, was the idea that the Department of Justice is targeting Catholic groups. Never mind the fact that the most famous Catholic in this country is President Joe Biden, who they hate and they swear is corrupt, and he's the head of some kind of crime ring. He'd be the last one to know. But apparently, and this is real, there have been overlaps between extremist organizations and religious organizations like far-right Catholic groups, right? That is true, as we have seen as sort of white supremacist and Christian nationalist violence has coalesced, right? That is not lost on anybody. And there was a report issued, but of course Republicans are saying, no, you're going after Catholics. By the way, Merrick Garland himself is Jewish, and he opened his statement in this hearing talking about his background and the fact that his family had survived the Holocaust. So take a look at this exchange.
Attorney General, through the chair, I ask you, do you agree that traditional Catholics are violent extremists?
I have no idea what the traditional means here. The idea. Let me just
go to church.
May I answer your question?
Yes
or no? The idea that someone with my family background would discriminate against any religion is so outrageous, so absurd.
Mr. Attorney General, it was your FBI that did this. It was your FBI that was sending, and we have the memos, we have the emails, we're sending undercover agents into Catholic churches.
Both I and the director of the FBI have said that we were appalled. Have said that we were appalled by that memo.
So then you agree that they're not extremists?
We were appalled by that memo.
Are they extremists or not, Attorney General?
I think that.
Are they extremists or not, Attorney General?
Everything in that memo is
Are they extremists or not? I'm asking a simple question. Say no if you think that was wrong.
Catholics are not extremists, no.
Okay, so I have a few issues with how that exchange went down, but supposedly multiple FBI, not supposedly, but supposedly this was a controversial statement and memo. Multiple FBI field officers were involved in drafting a controversial, again, this is according to the New York Post, so take that with a grain of sand. January 2023 internal memo suggesting traditionalist Catholic groups were potential hotbeds of domestic extremism. 2 Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee alleged Wednesday that the memo was titled "Interests of Racially or Ethnically Motivated Violent Extremists in Radical Traditionalist Catholic Ideology almost certainly presents new mitigation opportunities." Now, again, here's the problem with that exchange, right? Merrick Garland backed down. He said, no, Catholics aren't extremists, right? And he didn't stand up for the FBI, right? That he oversees. Look, FBI agents, Mondale, you tell me if I am off base here. Usually takes them like years to start opening anything into, I don't know, like white domestic extremist terrorism. Like they've just recently admitted it is rising far faster than any other kind of hate group or extremist violence in this country. So if they're opening an investigation or writing this memo, you probably can assume it is an issue. And so Merrick Garland basically throws them under the bus and says he thinks that this memo is appalling, all because Republicans are backing him into a corner to say that. So I don't know, I just kind of hate this. It makes me hate both sides, sort of the centrist, DOJ, and of course, obviously Republicans. Oh, I think you muted yourself, Mondale.
Listen, I would tell everybody, if you are offended by what was in that memo about traditionalist Catholics being radical or potential hotbeds, then you should all really be offended how we talk about mosque in this country. Mm-hmm. We know our government monitors Muslim people for potential hotbeds or extremists. So I think this idea is really just saying, tell me you're racist without saying you're racist. Everybody's upset or freaking out that some parts of Catholic or Catholicism may be creating spaces where that are comfortable to racists and radicals. We know it's true. And I think the idea that Merrick Garland took this stand and gave in was absolutely ridiculous. He should have just screamed over Van Drew, who is a horrible human being, and told him, stop playing politics with an issue that is extremely important. We absolutely know that there are cases of radical traditionalist Catholics that are doing racially motivated and also showing up like white supremacists. Stop playing.
Absolutely, absolutely, and he Yeah, he should have stuck to it. I mean, look, if it's his FBI, stand by them. Say, yeah, we like get real. You know what I mean? And like you can list. I mean, I don't know if you're if you're the head of, if you're the Attorney General, I would assume you should be able to rattle off like when there has been like sadly Christian-based like extremism.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.